Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Okay, so today I have again come with another questions, and this question basically based on the product based companies they have been asked. And yeah, so let's discuss this question. So suppose I have one list, and in this list if you see all the numbers, mostly all the numbers are duplicates except 6. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to find which number is not have any duplicates. Okay, so we have to just print it. Okay, so I, if you get this question in interview, suppose, so you definitely basically you start with the brute force method. Generally the human process is that, right? So I would discuss this question in the three I would say major methods. So all is kind of in the most optimized in the sequence, I would say. And okay, so let's start with the first, the force method. So how we will solve it? Okay, so generally, as you can see, like this is the list, right? So in the list, the first step we will define, like we have to have one loop that will be going to be traverse uh, entire entire list, right? Then next is kind of we will have like another loop that is kind of going to be also responsible for traversal. And then okay, traversal. Okay, and now the what we will do, we will have between these two loops we will compare, right? We will do comparison. And then after the comparison, like comparison here, the sense is like, suppose I take the first step like 1, then I will be like I will be going till the last, and I will be comparing one with the each numbers wherever it I have it finding, like I can break there, right, the loop. And then again I start with the next number, and again verify from the beginning and to end, and where it is matching, and I will be doing the break of it, right? And suppose at one place I go, like suppose here, like because don't have any duplicate, right? So when they traverse from here, you won't get any duplicates, right? So I have to, like, I can break there, as this question is very simple, it's only one number is there. Yeah, there are like many variant of question you can find. It's like the first or like the first number that don't have it there. Suppose there is many numbers, suppose here you get the 8 also, so it is not duplicate, right? The first number is like this one, this is the first as a like not duplicate. The second is this duplicate and not a duplicate. So there you can get like the many variants of question like this. So I would start with very simple one. Okay, so let's discuss first this one. Okay, so now we'll do the comparison, and how we will track these all the things. So for that we generally will have one kind of flag, I would say, that will uh, like it will be going to be enable one any there is kind of any duplicates find, then it will be like kind of like mentioned to the false. Otherwise it will be going to be, if we are not getting any come like duplicates, then at that time we can like find the result, we can return the output, right, directly. We don't have to move to entire list. Okay, so here if you see, so what kind of generally what kind of the uh, like time complexity you might get is kind of, so suppose for very if your number is at the first place of this list. Okay, so it is kind of, I would say, the best case scenario. In the best case scenario, what you will get, so in the best case scenario, first number, and it will traverse, it will compare all the numbers, and it won't find any duplicate. So it is kind of order of n, right? So only like the number, it is kind of, I think, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. It is 13, right? So it will be order of 13 only here. Okay, and I would say worst case scenario what can be, suppose our number is at last index. So at that time, like you have to compare all, and once you reach the last number, then it will compare. In that case, what will be happening? It will be kind of like the order of n square, right? Because the first number going to end, then second number going to end. In this way, if you see, if you try to calculate, like first number will be going to compare n times, again other number is going to compare n times, and third number is also going to compare n times. So n number is going to be compared by n times. So now it will be n square, so 13, kind of 13 power of 13 power of 2, right? So this order. And the average generally, I would say it will be like, actually we are solving this problem by, I think, average time complexity, because we are using one flag and we are like breaking it also where we're finding. So we are not going to move to entire list each time, right? Where we're finding the duplicates, we are breaking it. Okay, so here means suppose I started with one and I found one here, right? Then I will break. I will not compare then, because I know that already they're like duplicates only. Okay, so generally we will solve this with the average time complexity scenario. But still, if you see, the logic behind this goes to like it will be compared at least, and like nearby n minus some time, right? N minus suppose 4 5 kind of times. So it will be still be in the, if you in like apply master theorem, so you will be getting n minus some 5 suppose first time, and second time n minus something. So likewise, if you go to that, right, so you eventually you will getting n square only. Okay, so it will also, I would say, n square. Okay, so I think you have understood this part. So let okay, sorry for that. Okay, let's like define the entire method and to solve this. Okay, so I would say let's define a function def get number, and this method is accepting one list, lst I have defined. Then okay, so now as I mentioned that, right guys, we will have one flag that will be going to checked each time. Okay, so let's define a flag, and I will initially put it as a true. Okay, and next time, and what I will do, I will just define one for loop, and that loop for I in range, and it will be of length of lst. Okay, and next part is again I will do the same thing with the in range of length of lst. And what here I will do, if I will compare, if lst of I equal to lst of j, and because guys, if you see, if I compare one with one, then it initially it will find that, suppose here I will start with the 0, right? 0th index, lst of 0 is 1, right? lst of, let me just here explain, lst of 0, lst of 0 is also 1, it is 1, and uh, lst of here j, it is also 0, and it is also going to be 1, right? If I compare that, it will be always going to true, right? So what I do wanted to do, like at this position the same, if the positions are both uh, loop of this both the loops, if they have at the same index, I do not want to compare that. Okay, so for that, like we can write uh, and I is not j. Okay, so if I write this way, so I can compare now, like if the index are different, then only compare this part. And what I have to do, I have to just do is like flag is equal to false. So what it will do, guys, so it will be just like let me know, like it will be letting me know that, okay, so now your you have found the duplicates. Okay, so we don't have to consider that. So for that, after that, what we can do, we can just break our loop. Okay, now our loop is break. So what we next we can do, so what we next, like once after this loop we have to just check if flag, if flag is true, so what it will do, it will return simply the lst of I. Okay, if it is true. And what we have to do, guys, here I have to again set the flag, because here if you see, for like the flag is false, right? Then I have again to set it to true, because suppose once it got false, in the next loop if it is not going to set to true, it will again going to be false each time, right? So it not going to make sense in. Okay, so now if you see this, yeah, so this is the main I think like I would say logic that will be going to finding, where suppose like in the example itself, so the list that we have defined. Okay, so if we just here, let me put it here. Okay, ls and let me print and get this ls. Okay, so now as you can see, once I get the 6, suppose 6 is going to get compared, and like it will comparing from by 1, then likewise it will moving. So once it reaches 6, it is like the same, so it will not compare, then it will not go there, and not and it will be moving, and it will be like go all the entire list. So our flag is still will be the true. So once it's reached here and it will finding it is true, then it just return that number. Okay, so let me just run it, and let's see what we are getting. Why it is taking so much time? Okay, yeah, guys, as you can see, this like the we were expecting to get this right as an output. Okay, so this is the first method, right, guys? So okay, and let's like define the second method. Okay, second method, how we will implementing it, kind of like we have to have like the math method. So math method is like kind of we have to have define one dictionary. Okay, I would say tct, and that is kind of I have just empty define one empty uh, dictionary. And what I have to do, like I have to whatever the first number, suppose I got that, then I will do like the just add into this dictionary. Okay, so suppose for once like it will be only one loop, right, guys? So here I will define suppose one for loop will be there. Okay, and it is kind of uh, like the for loop will be going to be traversing, and in this, like you can see that uh, like whatever the for loop is going on, and later on, like each whatever the each element we will be adding and adding the count of it. Okay, so we can like we can have one more toggle kind of the count, and we'll initialize from 1, and then after that what we can do just like whatever the count is there, and whatever the like the if I get the again any the same number, I will just include like add that key to count is equal to 2. Okay, guys, so now let's just define it. Okay, and then you will get that exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I will just define one loop here. So we will, okay, just let's here count will be also there. Okay, so just here we will define a dct is equal to something like this, and count, suppose I get the count is equal to 1. Why I'm taking one, guys, like if you start from initially, so even whatever the key you are getting, that you can directly like it is the number 1 already, right? So we can say that, right, we have it already, so we can define directly it. And again, if we're finding it any the same number, the same key, like 1 will be our key, then the count will become directly we can put it as 2, right? Okay, so let's develop it, and like for, let's define another k in, I would say ls, that is our list, and after that we will having an if, and if we are just checking if the k is k not in dct, if we like if the value of that list, whatever the value we have that is not in the list, that is not in the dictionary, then add it. Like add it means the update the dictionary. So what we can do, dct dot update with respect to the key, means the key itself, the value itself, and the count will be our value for it, right? So in this way, like we can just update our dictionary. Okay, and if suppose this is the first condition, right? If it is not getting that, else what we can do. So if suppose it is already there, right? Like here if you see the list that we have defined one, right? Let me put it here then. Okay, so now as you can see, one is there, right? One will be coming here, and one will be going to not into the dictionary, then it will be updating and count will be one. And now next I will get 2, so 2 is also not there, sorry, 2 is not also not there, then 2 will also get 1. Okay, so and likewise it will be going to be moving, and once I get suppose 1 again, I got it is it like it, the else part will get true, right? At that time, then I can directly say okay, update the dct dot update with count is equal to 2. Okay, so k is equal to sorry, k is equal to directly 2 we can define, right? Okay, so in this, otherwise we can also just, like if you don't uh, like want to more variable, you can just remove it, you can directly, because we already know that it is only the duplicate, so we can directly define okay with 1. Okay, so for all the keys which initially it will be 1, once it got duplicates it will become 2. Okay, so now as you can like the basic thing, like basic map now have been defined. Okay, so map will be in the form of kind of, now this generated map will be kind of like this: 1 and is equal to 2 comma 2 is equal to 2, 2 like 2 has 2 value, and 3 has also 3 value likewise, and then 6 will be, but the 6 will be having only 1 value. Okay, so now I think you have got this. Now what I'm trying to do is like where the values, the key has a value 1, I can directly say okay, this is the key I need, right? So what I'm trying to do is here, just define one more for loop which will be returning key and value pair. And how can we do that? As you know that in dictionary we can, there is a function dot items, we can use that, so it will be returning with the key and value pair. And here I just write if b is equal to 1, then what we can do, we can just we can directly print it. Otherwise, like yeah, directly we can print it. If we have written the function, we can return it. So we have not written function, just let print it. Okay, print the k, and yeah, and break it here itself, so it will get out of it. Okay, so as you can see this, so let's run it and let's see what we are getting. Why it is for k comma b in, okay, sorry guys, I had just forgot in, it should be in index dot items. Okay, yeah, we got the answer, right? The 6, we should get 6, we got the 6. And now guys, I will discuss very cool method, that is bitwise operation method. Okay, so I think it is like I had just found it. Okay, so guys, it is very cool method for these kind of things, these kind of problems. It will be kind of And for the like the for the second method, if you the complexity, if we check, okay, so it is kind of in the first it is going n times, right? For this loop it is going n times. For this is also it is going to not n times, like less than n times. So overall it will become only n times. Okay, all in all the scenarios, best case, worst case, and average case, all it will become only order of n. Order of n means order of 13. Okay, here guys, so you get that, right? How you will get the best case? Suppose the number itself has been, it doesn't matter, it will generate for like the key for key value pair for all in using this loop. And the second part here is like it will where finding the first instance of one and of the key value pair, and it will return it. Okay, so it will kind of n here, and kind of max worst case scenario it can be n here, like here 13, like because if the number is at last, the number is at 1, so it will be 1, right? And if it is here it will be n, so here it will be kind of n, right? So n means here 13, and here at the first we get that k is equal to 1 only. Suppose 6 was here, so we will get at 6 the value is 1 here directly. So we can directly say, okay, so n plus kind of, not plus, it is kind of, yeah, kind of plus. So n plus 1 is still the order of n. Okay, and worst case scenario, suppose 6 is at last here, so here is still it will be the same. Here it will be going to be n again, so n plus n is equal to 2n, but still you can say like it is order of n only. And the third is like the average one, that is we are still using here. This is the responsible, because here if you see we are getting at place of might with third or fourth, right? 1 2 and 3, then 4. So, yeah, so we will be getting at third positions, and because it start with 0, right? So now the third position we will getting, and this is the already n, so n plus 3, it is still n, so we are going to order of n. Okay, now let's move to this part where we will doing the bitwise operation. So guys, I'm expecting you might have used bitwise like bitwise operations. So generally there are many. So suppose bitwise operation I wanted to perform and, so generally suppose 2 uh, and of 4 is there, right? So what operation is to actually do is kind of let me just explain a little bit. So two, how can we write in byte side? So it will be in 20, right? 10, and operation, and for how we can write 100, right? So if I do the and, right, so 2 will be kind of here, it will be also 10. So it will, if as you know that and means like where if the both places has 1, it will be 1, otherwise it will be 0, right? For first position it will be 0, then for second position it will be also 0, and third position also it will be 0, right? Okay guys, I would say I would like if you need, you just comment it. I will definitely create one more video for the bitwise operations, or otherwise I will especially create one bitwise operations like in the Python, how we can develop that, like the logic behind an entire thing, how the operations happens. Let's stick to this question as of now. And okay, so because if we explain here, it will become very long video. So the purpose of that we are trying to like to solve it, it is kind of get different, right? So let's just stick to this question. Okay, so here what kind of operation I will use? Actually here like I am going to do or XOR operation. Okay, so XOR operation is kind of it can be defined to the Python is like kind of suppose 2, and this is the operation that use for the XOR. And okay, and XOR exactly what it does is like if the inverse, like the places where the 1 and 0 is there, or it will be 1, like the where it will be 1, like only 1 then it will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. Suppose for it's okay, so for 2 and 4 itself, let's check. Okay, the for the same thing. Okay, so it is same, right? So we will check. So the first one is kind of 0 and 1, right? So it will be 1. Second one 0 1 and 0, it will be still again 1. The third one it will be 0. Okay, so it will be kind of 4 to 5. Okay, if you wanted to just check it, you can just here check it what you are getting. So 2 and like directly here you like in the Python you can check it what kind of output you are getting. Okay, so 6 you are getting, right? So it is kind of already 6 value. Okay, so how? So first one belongs to 4. 4 plus 2 plus 0, so equal to 6, right? So it is kind of de- decimal, it is kind of decimal representation of 6, right guys? I'm expecting you, if you don't know, just explore a little bit about it. Otherwise I will be making a future video in future. Okay, so this is the operation I will be going to use, and how it will going to help me here is like, if you see uh, okay, so let's stick to, okay, so how this will help me. I would, let me just copy this list again. So now suppose I have one, so one will be kind of one only, right? In the bytecode will be define one. So it compare to XOR 2, so it will become what? Okay, so here if you see, uh, suppose one is equal to 1, and then again I got 2 is equal to 1 0. XOR of 1 and 0, it will be kind of, right, 0 and 1. So if you see, I will be, let's just print it here, right guys? So you will get exact what I am trying to do. So 1 with 2, I should get some value that is 3, right? So what it will be, 0 and 1, so it will become 1, and 1 and 0, again it will become 1. So it is kind of equal to, you can say directly 2 plus 1, right guys? So it will become 3. So in this order it will become, I got 3, right? Then 3, here now I have 3 1 1, right? And 3, then again I will do with the uh, sorry, it okay, so now 3 with 3, so I will compare 3 with 3, so 1 1. So now in case I will be getting 0. Okay, then again I will be comparing with 1, so 0 with 1 I will getting 1. Okay, actually I will start with the 0 first. So 0 with 1 then become 1. Okay, so 1 with the 2, then it will become 3, and 3 with 3 it will become kind of 0. Then 0 with 1, again it will be 1, and 1 with 2 it will become 3. 3 with 6, 3 with 6 we can print here. Okay guys, so 3 with 6 we will be getting something 5. Okay, so now 3 with 6 5, 5 with 5 versus 2, 5 XOR of 3, sorry it is 3, right? So 5 XOR of 3, we will be getting 6. Okay, and 6 with the 7 we will be getting something, 6 with 7, 1. Okay, 6 with 7 1, then 1 with 9 we will be getting something. Likewise guys, if you move, eventually what you will get, you will become like you, let's just do it. Okay, so eventually because otherwise I think I got one, right, with the 7. Now we will test with 9. So if we check with 9, I will getting 8. So like 8 with 11, then 11 with 8. Okay, so I will be getting 3. 3 with 9. 3 with 9. So 10. And 10 with 7. 10 with 7. 13. 13 with 11. I should get 6. Okay, so I got 6. So yeah, this is the operation we will guys, as you know, you have understood, right? The basic, basically what we are doing eventually. Okay, so now let's just implement this part. Okay, so just apply one like I would start with 0. So I would say let's have one value that is will be 0, and then we'll have one for loop kind of what kind of ij we already have took. Let's have something is already done, right? K is also done. Let's have P. Okay. So we will move to the length of it, and then we will just do the like the operation, and we will have this value, and like eventually we just print that value. Okay. So for P in a range of length of ls, and then we will do we will just compare it with the val is equal to operation val with respect to this operation and val into ls of p. Okay, so here guys, so it will start with 0, and then 0 will be compare ls of p like at 0 1, then it will be going to move likewise, and at last whatever the value have already in the val, just we will print it. Let's, because we already have 6, let's have something bitwise operation, then here we have comma val. Let's run it. You got it, right? So we got 6. Okay guys, so I think you have like if you want to impress the interviewer with your programming skill, and if you got this kind of question and you apply this logic during the interview time, definitely they will get impressed, and they will like just they will think of like you have a good command of programming, as well as under like you have done a lot of practice with respect to solve this kind of problem. Okay guys, so I would say I will stop here, and let's meet next. And I have a lot of questions. I will definitely put all these questions. This will help you guys to crack any kind of interview. Yeah, and definitely I will be putting some question with respect to Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and Flipkart, and there are many more companies, so I will be definitely adding their questions as well. Hope you are you will practice and you will crack this fang, I would say, companies, and you will. Okay, thank you guys, thank you so much. Let's meet next.